There's a tradition in computer programming that one of the first functions you're supposed to learn how to program is a function that prints "Hello World" on the screen. And one of the first things I have to tell you about how we're going to do this is what data type is "Hello World" going to be. So as a hint that we need to do something special, if I just type out "Hello World" into MATLAB and evaluate it by hitting enter, then I get some error message because it's trying to treat "Hello World" as some sort of expression to evaluate, like a 2 plus 3. So I need some way to let MATLAB know that it's not something that's supposed to be evaluated. It's just a string of characters. And the data type that we want to use is called a string, stands for string of characters. And the way I let MATLAB know that I'm using a string is by putting it into single quotation marks. Okay, so now that works fine. That's something that MATLAB understands. I have the same thing I wrote before, but now it's inside of single quotation marks, which lets MATLAB know to treat it as a string. Now I'm going to make a function that returns this. So I go up to New, up here, New Function. I'm going to call my function HW for Hello World. And remember that functions can have 0 inputs. Okay, they can have 1, they can have more than 1, but for this one, it's going to have 0 inputs. So I'm just going to delete this thing. And then here, let me just get rid of these comments. There's going to be a simple function. We don't need any documentation for it. And let me just write "Hello World." Now I'm going to save it. And remember, we always want to save it with the same name as our function name. So that's good. Here's HW. I'm going to save it. Now I'm going to go back to the MATLAB screen, back to the command window. Now I see this M file that we made, hw.m, this function over here. Let me try evaluating it. Okay, and it says answer equals "Hello World." So that answer, that's supposed to be something that I can work with. So I can say, how about x equals HW? Okay, but here I get an error. It says output argument, output args, and maybe others, not assigned during call to the function HW. So let me write this function another way. I'm going to go up to New again. New Function. I'm going to call this HW2. Again, it has no input arguments. And let me just write it a tiny bit differently. Let me write output args. Okay, that's what's here by default. Equals, and then the string "Hello World." Then I'm going to put a semicolon after it. I'm going to save it. Now I'm going to evaluate it, going back to the command window. And so now instead of x equals HW, I'm going to do x equals HW2. Okay, and now that works. So what was the difference? Let's look at these two functions that I made. Here's the first one, HW. Okay, it is just displaying "Hello World." It's not doing anything else. Okay, it does not output it because I never set output args equals "Hello World." Okay, whereas the second one that I made, HW2, okay, here's the second one. Only difference is that I put output args equals "Hello World." What would happen if I had it without the semicolon? How would it be different? So I've deleted the semicolon, then I've saved it. And now I'm going to go back to the command window and run it again. So it's really similar. Here was the first one, where it did have the semicolon, and here's the second one, where it doesn't have the semicolon. And so you can see the difference is that without the semicolon, it also prints this intermediate step. Okay, so without the semicolon, it prints this, And then it also prints x equals hello world because I said x equals, and then that's whatever the output argument was.